Good morning, everybody. Hello, 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 and good morning to all. How many of you are here? Let's see. As every day we do, or every week we do, let us begin bringing all of our senses, body, mind, and soul, to this workshop. Ask me anything, and let us be in gratitude of everyone who is watching with us and who will be watching later. So take a deep breath. Allow for the universe around you to enter you, to make you one with it. Wonderful. We are now going to shift to the questions of today. Here are the questions, and thank you so much, so much, so much, so much for sending them. Question one. Okay, which one should I take? How to get rid of the same old patterns happening in the relationship. What is karma, what is bhagya, and what is the relationship between them? Okay. A relationship pattern means what? Let's talk about patterns first, right? Patterns basically mean something that is coming again and again in my life at the exact same time, as the exact same process. Whenever I have a certain situation, the pattern restarts itself. I go into self sabotage or I destroy something else. It's a round thing, right? So look around you. Trees grow, trees die. People grow, people die. Then rebirth happens. Earth revolves around the sun revolves around the super sun. The earth rotates on its own axis. The moon revolves around the earth. There's a pattern to every single thing in the universe. Why are they in such beautiful equilibrium? Is because they have figured out the balance of attachment and detachment. They know that I am going to revisit the place after 365 days, 24 hours, depending on who and what is happening. Similarly, when you have patterns in your life, realize this. They will occur at a similar pace. Okay, they'll give you a hint. So if you start writing or journaling now, you will start seeing that your ups and downs in life happen at a very similar pace. Now, when you look at that, you can start, let's say you start from today. Okay, you put a date. You need to the same, put the solar calendar date and the lunar calendar date. Okay, and see how you're exactly feeling today. Like, be very detailed. You can put in the situations that have happened to you, whatever the case might be. And put in not just the bad ones, even the good ones, because they also have a pattern. There is a pattern in the way your relationship is managed. So if you started your relationship on a high, like great, beautiful relationship, and it went into a low, keep observing because there'll be times when it goes back into a high again. Just be an observation and it will continue to flow. The problem is that as soon as something goes wrong, we focus too much towards it without focusing on the highs that are happening in that same relationship. We just ignore them and we miss them and we say, oh, it's all bad. It's not. Everything is a pattern. So you don't get rid of it. You start observing it. And then when you have a calendar, this is for like a year you have to do, okay? So because it takes that much time to start seeing the patterns. Some people go on for many years. That's how astrology was born. So follow that pattern. If there was no pattern, there'd be no tarot, there'd be no astrology, there'd be no Akashic reading. The patterns you follow create the life you have. So they are going to be existent. Don't fight the patterns, be with the patterns. The next question, what is karma? What is bhagya? And what is the relationship between the two? So karam is action. Consequences of action is your fruits of your action or fruits of karma. Bhagya is something like you have written out or it's already written out. And it is something which it's like a map. That map is already written for your life from birth to death. All the breaths you take, this is the map you will follow. That's your bhagya. Now that map will create a lot of emotional pit stops for you as you go along. And you have to complete the journey. It's like a game, right? Completing a journey of all the emotions. And when you reach the end of the game, okay, finished. This lifetime's things are done. Okay. Now we have the capability of slowing them down or speeding them up. Some people like to slow down their bhagya, saying, you know what, I don't want to face all these emotions because this is bad for me. I don't want them. So they will go to an astrologer, upay batao, upay batao, upay batao. Within the karmic laws, upay is only to strengthen your ability to withstand the bhagya, not to change it or give it up. Because as soon as you give it up, you're moving into next lifetime. Now, some people will say, अरे किसको पता अगले जन्म में क्या होगा? How does it matter? तो better है भूल अगले जन्म में आने दो हमें क्या करना है? I can tell you this for sure. Whenever you stack up things for the next lifetime, the universe will make sure you get reminded of how you did that. Like people come for past lives, right? And they realize all the stuff they did over the various lifetimes. So anybody and everybody who has stacked up stuff will go for a past life regression and will see it there. Not a thumb rule, but generally that's what happens. Okay? So you will know in some lifetime that you did this. And that's going to create a lot of karma for you at that lifetime and probably extend your reaching moksha further away. So take all the lifetimes, take all the bhagya in this lifetime, do all the karma that's possible, be strong and follow it, and you should be okay. Is there a significance of full moon and new moon in death? What if someone departed on the night of Buddha Purnima or new moon day? So if you go look at the lunar calendar, the full moon day pulls a lot of energy from us. We already know water is pulled by moon tides, right? Tides are happening due to the moon. So when there is a physical energy increase of the moon, and when we see a full moon in the sky, we also get an emotional energy increase. We get a pull. You do get impacted by it. Now, however your nature is, if you like or dislike the moon, is how you respond to a full moon. If you don't like the moon, you're not going to enjoy the full moon. If you like the moon, you will enjoy the full moon. And doesn't happen matter birth or death, it'll have the same impact. Does it have a supernatural impact for you leaving on full moon day? There are chances or there is possibilities, again, this is what I've read, that you will exit the earth much easier on a full moon day because the portal is open for you to move up. At the same time, you can't plan that. If you plan it, you got it all wrong. Then, like people do, right? Oh, let me plan my child on this date. So I'll have a cesarean on this date. So that's their birthday. So they'll be lucky. Doesn't happen like that. The day they conceive, their bhagya is written. Astrology, if it was doing its job extremely well, if you really need to get accurate, you need to go to the time of conception and not the time of birth or date of birth. Well, time of conception is hard, but date of birth or date of conception is probably the most accurate space because that's when your bhagya is written. Done. Okay. So now let's see what's the next question. And by the way, if anybody has any other questions, please send them in the group or send them to me directly so that I can answer it here. I want to ask that the first time written my affirmation, would like to do it verbally. As I have a question, what do I do with the paper with the affirmations written on it? So, best way for anything is to burn it and let it go. Just burn it. Let go out of your space, out of your system. You don't need to see it. You can throw it away, you can burn it, you choose. Okay? As long as it's not in your system, it's done. Because once you've written the affirmations, the work is over. Salt water bath. Firstly, should one use rock salt or sea salt, and can salt water be used on hair? As I take salt water bath, avoiding the head, especially as people say lose hair with salt, please guide. Okay. So if you lose hair with salt, maybe rub it here. No more waxing required, no? It's so much better. See if that works. It doesn't. So yes, you can. Salt and water are both magnets for emotions. They pull your emotions away from your body. The salt that is rock salt is considered because it is less processed, so more pure, more processed, less pure. Same concept with food. Processed food, less nutrients, less processed food, more nutrients. So the impact is always higher for less processed things. So that answers your question. Okay, let's see what's the next thing. So there are questions here. I fall sick when the work gets disturbed. Okay, how to check your mood? See how you're feeling. Talk to yourself. Be honest. This is extremely important. In Kalyug, be honest to yourself. Not to other people, not to anybody else, just to yourself. How you're truly feeling about a situation. Without the judgments of what it be like, because you're talking to yourself and nobody else is listening. So be honest to yourself. And that's all you need for knowing your mood. Who is Supreme God? How can I get connected to Supreme God or I can please Him? Supreme God needs no pleasing. They created you. You think your parents need you to please them? No, they're doing it for you. You're there. Who is Supreme God? The one who cannot be defined. The one who cannot be heard, felt, touched, smelled. The one who cannot be thought. Anything you can think is not the Supreme God. In the three-dimensional world we're living, we cannot imagine the Supreme God. If you try to imagine, you're not the Supreme God. Supreme God is what I spoke about yesterday in the group, kindness. I am a kind person versus I am kindness. When I say I'm a kind person, that means I'm kind sometimes, I'm unkind sometimes, depending on the situation or the person. But I am kindness means that no matter what, when, who, where, I am kindness continuously. Everything in this life, as we see, has an end. The universe has an end. If the universe has an end, that means The universe itself is not the Supreme God. Can you connect to the Supreme God? Yes, through silence and meditation. It takes years and years of practice when you have no malice, you have no judgments, no distractions at all. We do get glimpses of it during the day, but we are unable to hold on to it. Those glimpses are just an ad. The real one we will all see when we are ready to see it. You don't need to work or you don't need to do any kind of sadhana for it. Just do what you do best. Be you. The role you play, mother, father, parent, daughter, son, the role you play it to your best. And that's it. Okay? So that answers or ends all the questions that I had for today. If there are any more questions, I will give you the count of 6 breaths. I will breathe deeply for 6 times before I close the session on Ask Me Anything. So this question here, which says, if I am unwell, my work gets disturbed. So if you are unwell, that means you're not doing your work in a happy manner. There's something in your life where you are not happy about. Life is not going to give you things that are going to make you happy. Life is going to give you things. Even the things that make you happy, life did not give them to you to make you happy. Life just gave them to you. You need to start seeing where in life you are able to find happiness in the things you do. Conscious communication is extremely beneficial in that case. We are doing a workshop for it for tomorrow. Sorry, I'm just putting an ad out there. Should not be the case. But yes, if you'd like to join, conscious communication is extremely important for you to get rid of these patterns of sickness, illness. I have them too. I am slowly but surely getting rid of them, realizing the importance of me speaking to myself honestly, kindly, lovingly. And it's not easy to do. All right, so let us close now with 3 chants of Om, and I thank everybody who's watching and will be watching later. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Om. 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 God bless.